Yeah, clapping on 1 and 3.
I agree. There were some YouTube comments touching on exactly that.
Really?
Like saying, you have 2 or 3 German drummers and they are all so groovy and laid back and not as march music 101.
Yeah, and not Nazis.
Strange people. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know? Yeah, people should practice that, clapping in 5, definitely. While the band is playing 4.
Or plastic. The one thing is having just a little thing and adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
Or having a huge idea which is almost too complex and you have to reduce it to get more fitting beat.
Yeah, for me it's definitely the way to adding stuff to a simple thing. I'm Anika, and for me the drumming is more coming from the basic stuff. For me, I always try to come from the basics, going up to the next level, and let it sound more complex. But in my head, more or less, also just the basic stuff is going on, while playing also complex stuff.
Hi, my name is Jost Nickel, and drumming for me is not, I don't think about it as being very simple or very complex. To me, it's really about how I feel when I play something. Or if I don't play and I just listen to somebody, it's really about how I feel when somebody plays. And if it feels good to me, it's right, and if it doesn't feel good because of maybe the note spacing, I don't care about complex or easy. Actually, the things that impress me the most on an emotional level are always the things that seem very easy but are just beautiful. And the longer I play, the less I'm interested in complicated. Really, sometimes I hear somebody play and I'm like, on a rational level, I'm like, yeah, this is really complicated and really hard to do. But it's a thought process, and I don't, the wonderful thing about playing music is that it's so emotional, and when I play a drum solo, I always try to play it so that an audience which doesn't consist of drummers can still relate and follow me. Because I found out that even if things are obvious to me, and I play something and I think it's really obvious, some people think it's just random notes. And then I feel like it doesn't make sense to just play random notes, because it's a lot harder to play something that sounds random but isn't than just playing something which is random, right? So I want to connect with the audience, and I do what it needs to try to do that. Okay, I want to know, how does it feel like to be one of the most popular drummers at the moment? And it all came about quite quickly, like in 2 or 3 years. Do you really realize what's going on, or is it more like you're in this thing and it's all just happening?
So first of all, it took me really, I think, 2 years to understand what's happening. So especially, I mean, you know, I was your student and I was so nervous as we started studying together because I knew you were like, you know, practicing here. And, and I started practicing before to prepare myself a little bit. And then I'm on the same stage like you or Benny or other drummers.
No,
and
but you're the headliner when we play. Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, and it's like I didn't get that part for, I think, more than 2 years. And in the meanwhile, I understand what's going on, but I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm headlining something.
Yes.
Of course, I'm sitting there on a time in the evening, which is probably a good time, but I just feel like I have to practice more, I have to work out this more. I'm never satisfied with what I'm doing. So
Yeah, I'm the same. Sometimes I am, but you know, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with delivering something that somebody wants me to do if it's for a shorter period of time. For example, in the studio, I don't have a problem to play music that I don't really like, because I like the way you work in the studio. I like the way you have to concentrate and focus on the sound. But if it's for a longer period of time, for example, I go on tour with somebody and I feel like there's no real passion there and it's not an honest statement, then I can't really do it for a long time, because my mood is not good when I do that. Because I want to be with people that really love what they do. That's my main thing. And so if you play with somebody that really loves what he or she is doing, then I think you can add something to it that fits, and it's not about I need to play this or that. It's about I want to spend time with people who love music, really. I had to quit a few bands because I felt like this isn't the case. It's not about music. It's more about how can you get more successful, for example. What do you need to? How can you lower the bar so that more people like your music and clap to it on 1 and 3? And then that's not the right thing to do. But, you know, being a musician is not an easy job. It's great, but there are times where it's not great, where you don't know, okay, what can I do next? In which direction can I go? And so on. It's so, you depend on so many things and other people. And so actually, I'm really grateful for having a career as a musician.
Yeah, for me it's more or less the same, because I also can do it for a shorter time, probably in the studio or probably for 1 or 2 concerts. But on me, I said to myself a couple of years ago, where I worked as a social educator, where you have to handle a lot of people around you. When I quit this job and go to the music business, I just want to do what I really like. And so I always remind myself to that and think, okay, do you really want to do that for a half year, or really want to go on tour, or really want to record this album? Because I have to prepare stuff. It's not just the time in the studio or the time on tour. You also have to prepare yourself for stuff, and when you start preparing and think, oh God, really? Then I lose my, it's no fun anymore, and I want to have fun, feeling good, enjoying it, and so I decided a lot to not recording stuff or not play for other artists, just because I want to do the stuff which I really like. And sometimes I can make money with it, and sometimes I don't have money. So then I'm teaching more, you know. But that's how I decided a couple of years ago, this is the way I want to go, and not just making money and yeah. When it comes to teaching, I feel really in the zone because I do that for a couple of years. I started in the age of 14, and of course with basic stuff, and I also did some social educations in the past. So you can learn a lot about people, about how to talk with each other, and that helps a lot in a clinic situation when you talk to people. And so when I get questions, I always try to catch not just this one question. I just try to put in more information, probably as the guy needs. That helps to really develop your skills or mastering something, not just catching a piece of it. So,
to me, it's very important that if I get a question and I don't know an answer, just to tell them I don't know. That's something that you shouldn't be afraid of. And then what I like doing when I teach publicly, I'm really into systems as well. And I always come up with things while I teach using a system, but I haven't played what the students come up with. You know, I make the students come up with a groove or a fill, and then I try to play it. And of course, it's not always the case that I can play it. I need to practice it. And that's something I do on stage. So I practice that. And that's wonderful, because then they make me play something and they see how I struggle with it and how I go about it. And that's a very practical thing to do. If you think about musical instruments, for example, you have piano. The pianist plays rhythm, he plays chords, and he can play melodies. The guitar player does the same. A saxophone player can't really play chords. Normally they only play melody, but they play rhythm at the same time. And drummers only play rhythms. We don't play melodies. We can do something that has a resemblance maybe of melodies, but it's not actual notes. The basis on which musicians communicate with each other is rhythm. So I don't feel like if somebody plays randomly on a different instrument, I don't feel like it makes sense. But there's different styles of music where it's not so much about rhythm and more about sound, like free jazz, for example. That's not something I really like. It's not my cup of tea. But I know it exists, and there's drum solos that start like it's nothing I really like. I don't do that because to me it's just random notes. I always like it to be somewhat grounded to a certain tempo, and then it's so much more, you can relate more to it, because once you lock into the tempo, you can feel where the different beats go and make sense. So that's my thing. But I totally respect if somebody else does it differently. So, it's nothing I just feel like it's wonderful that so many people love drums and music and do whatever they feel like is good.
When it happened on stage, it just happened. You can't hide it. As I started doing clinics, it was totally different, because you sit there on the stage alone, just with your drum set, and you feel the fuse on your hands, or I felt like this. And I was like nervous like hell. And when I failed, so I was like, really like I was angry with myself for a long time, and it cost me months or a year or 1.5 years to say, okay, it happened, and it's like that, okay? It's life, and I'm not perfect. And I can respect that now for myself also. And that were the point where I started to feel way more comfortable on stage. But this costs you a lot of respect for yourself to say, okay, I'm not perfect, and I fail in front of drummers. Yeah, but they are happy when you fail, you know, because they think you're perfect, but no one is perfect, no one. Yeah, and of course I've learned a lot while failing on stage about myself, and it's a thing you can work afterwards when you are at home and you see okay, I've struggled here and there on this situation. You can practice on that, of course, and try to getting more comfortable in different situations.
I guess nobody wants to make a mistake, especially not in public. And that's what we do all the time as musicians. We play publicly, and then we don't want to play a wrong note or don't get this fill or that fill. It's hard to really what she said, what you said about not being perfect. I think the impression that I have of other drummers that I really like is that they are perfect, which of course maybe they are, I don't know, I hope they are not. But the thing is, again, the beautiful thing about music is the emotional side of music. And if I am in the audience and I see a concert or maybe a drum clinic and it gets me emotionally, I don't care about mistakes. It's like, there was a little mistake, and then I move on with the performance. And the only one who stays where the mistake happened is the performer himself or herself. But I think the ultimate thing is to accept it and then go back and try to practice it better or change your attitude. Because it's, most of the time it's not what you're capable of playing, it's more how you feel while you play it. And when you feel really good and the sound is really good and everything is relaxed, you play at your best. And when something happens that you don't like, or the sound isn't good, and you get too stuck in these things, then you're not happy. And my ultimate goal is to be happy when I play, really. And that's what I tell myself when I'm in a situation where I'm nervous, or I tell myself, well, what did I want to do when I was younger? And then I find myself in situations where I wanted to be and I can't enjoy it. So I try to enjoy it by not being too critical of myself.
I always try to catch what the song needs. So when I'm booked for a show or in the studio or playing live, I just try to catch what the song needs. And sometimes the song just needs a backbeat groove and probably one fill. That's it. But it's different when you do instrumental music like I do. So I think I have a little bit more freedom, because also I'm writing the songs and the music and all is based on the drum part. I have a little bit more space and freedom to probably overplay sometime, but that's my fun, my personal fun here in my music. But when it comes to playing for other artists or just being the drummer and keeping the time, then I'm doing that. It's the most important thing, bringing emotions in from your side as a drummer, and also keeping the dynamics well and not too while the rest is going like, catching also the right emotions.
Actually, for me, it's not really the singer. It's really the song. The song is king, I think, and all the rest is a matter of taste. And so I like honest statements. So I like drummers that play many notes. And I also like drummers that don't play many notes, and it's because it's an honest statement, and that's what I like. And if you, as a drummer, feel like you have to limit yourself, then I think it's not the right music for you. I never feel like I have to limit myself. I always feel like as I said in the beginning, I want to feel good while I play. I just played a gig that I really enjoyed because it was really strange, really. Like an Irish night with all Irish musicians. The bass player I play with a lot asked me if I wanted to do it, and I never did it, and I didn't know any of the songs, so I said yes because it's a new experience. But many of the groups were like, ding, 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 ding. And while I played it, it was nice, but I'm not going to be an Irish folk drummer. But it was nice because the other musicians, it was an honest statement. They really loved this stuff, and so it was good. It was, you know, it wasn't fake. I hate fake music. Okay, thank you for watching. This was Jost Nickel and my very dear friend
Anika Nilles.
Anika Nilles.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Bye. Hi there, this is Philip speaking. I'm the host of Drum Talk. And first of all, I want to thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it. It's season 7 already, but it's not only season 7, it's also the 5th anniversary of Drum Talk. And a lot of things have changed over the years, as you may have realized. But there's one thing that is still consistent, which is it's basically just me doing all the things with some helping hands here and there. So I figured maybe there are some folks out there that like my program so much they want to maybe support the channel a little bit, which helps indeed because I don't have any sponsor or anything whatsoever. Everything I have to pay out of my own pocket. So if you like it a lot or just a bit and you feel like giving me a little bit of support, there will be a Patreon page up soon and I will post the links. And if you feel like it, you can support me there. Anything is cool. So again, thanks for watching and take care. Bye.